Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to share with you what I learned regarding the memory of the market, so the stochastic foundations to the non-Markovian calibration. I'll be sharing by looking at how we mathematically define uncertainty and information, and how the traditional financial models contrast to the messy reality of the real world. So, starting with the foundational question. If you know today's price, does yesterday's price matter? In traditional finance, we often rely on the memoryless paradigm, so it gives us an elegant way to calculate. So from the present point, the future is just unresolved randomness, like sort of like fog of war. But in the memory-bound paradigm, it represents the messy reality of the markets. So the past data acts as a historical drag, creating memory and known information that tether the present point. The trajectory becomes warped by nonlinear dynamics and the heavy influence of the history. So to understand this mathematically, we have to look at the anatomy of randomness, which is defined by stochastic process. Look at this timeline. At the first tick, we have a present point. This present point is defined by the state or price and the time. And tick 2, possibilities begin to branch out. So the price can increase, decrease, or stays constant. And by tick 3, you can trace a single realization or outcome, but the true stochastic process is that entire universe of possible branching paths. So simply put, a stochastic process is like a particle moving through time, where every step is governed by probability distribution, creating a continuously evolving landscape of risk. So now, how does our certainty evolve over this process? First, we have the random experiment. An outcome is chosen, but the precise path remains hidden from us as observers. Second, we have the revelation. At specific intervals, the observer is given clues. For example, the price is above $100, let's say. Finally, we have the math translation of this. So we model this growing body of clues as sigma algebra, which is just a mathematical catalog of every event that has been definitely resolved. To model financial decisions accurately, we must mathematically define exactly what we know and when we know it. So this brings us to the filtered probability spaces, or how we navigate the fog of war. The filtration represents our known information up to the present time. Ahead of us is the unresolved randomness. Filtration is simply the expanding bubble of certainty. It is the revealed map at specific time. As time moves forward, this lens slides to the right and the fog retreats. So this comes here and this goes here, revealing the exact path that the market took. So this filtration obeys the law of accumulation. Like if we think of concentric circles, information at time 1 is smaller circle contained entirely inside the information of T2, which is inside T3. So information can only grow, it can't shrink. Everything known at time 1 is permanently embedded and available at information at T2 and T3. For our models, so we can say that amnesia is mathematically impossible, so we can't forget. Yet, despite this, many standard models rely on the memoryless present, also known as the Markov assumption. In the Markovian framework, your best guess for the future, conditioned on everything we have seen, relies exclusively on where we are right now. So the formal equation here shows that the conditional probability based on the entire filtration is exactly equal to the probability based only on the current state. The assumption is that the entire history of the universe is baked into this exact moment, rendering the historical path useless or irrelevant mathematically. Let's see this with the real-world dependencies. Taking an example of a coin flip, this is a Markovian system. If we flip the coin 10 times and you get 10 straight heads, the coin of course has no memory, so the probability that we will get the head on flip 11 is exactly 50%, because the past has zero influence or predictive power or value. On the other hand, the non-Markovian state or system is like the weather, where if we have 3 consecutive days of heat, the system remembers, so most likely we will get another hot day. Let's formalize this. For the dependencies in the Markovian system, it only relies on the present, while non-Markovian systems depend on the deep path history. In like the real world, this is a fair coin toss against weather or sampling without a replacement. Computationally, Markovian systems are highly tractable and solvable using like PDE or partial differential equations, where in the non-Markovian systems they are intractable, requiring state augmentation, heavy simulations, and path weighing to combat this dimensionality. And in the financial use case, we can say that the Black-Scholes or the Merton model is Markovian, but for more advanced volatility modeling, they rely on the non-Markovian system. And now we can see a flaw in the matrix, like the Black-Scholes Markovian reality against the actual market behavior. The appeal of the Markovian models is massive. Financial models love the Markov property because it allows us to price derivatives cleanly and quickly based on today's stock price only. The plot twist is that markets are not simple coins. They are driven by human panic, algorithmic feedback, loops, and macroeconomic hangovers. So the unavoidable conclusion that we can see is that the market in fact have memories, so they are non-Markovian. Let's look at the echoes of the past to see these non-Markovian realities in action. Imagine a past market crash creating a shock through path dependence. That shock echoes into the present volatility, creating a memory amplitude. So we see this in volatility clustering, modeled by the ARC or GARC models, where large changes tend to be followed by large changes. Yesterday's panic directly affects today's risk premium. We also see it in fractional Brownian motion, where an asset exhibits long-range dependence, like momentum or mean reversion forces drags on the present node, completely violating the idea of independent increments. This has a massive impact on calibration, because in a Markovian state, today's price is simply balances the options price to perfectly level scale. But in a non-Markovian state, the scale is weighed down, because today's price must be combined with the jump penalties, volatility smile, historical paths to balance the true market option price. In a market with memory, calibrating a model means you must force your parameters to absorb historical path data. If you ignore the past, your volatility smile will simply misprice reality. So let's trace the evolution of pricing decisions to make this concrete. Assume that today's price is $100. In a Markovian engine, we run that $100 through the Black-Scholes BD engine and get a call option of $5. But in a non-Markovian engine, our inputs are today's price is 100. Also, we have yesterday's 10% flash crash, the volatility clustering metrics. We run this through the path dependent simulation engine and we get a call option of $7.5. This $2.5 difference is the risk premium of memory. Ignoring the filtration leaves the trader completely blind to the path-dependent risk of $2.5. So, to summarize this, the path is the stochastic process representing the entire universe of evolving randomness. The length is the filtration, the expanding bubble of known information. The point is the Markov property. The math assumption is that only the present node dictates the future. And the echoes represent our non-Markovian reality, so the heavy tethers of path history that define true market calibration. Ultimately, one must master the memoryless math to understand the foundation, but you must master the market's memory to calibrate the real world. So thank you so much for watching. If you reached this far, please like and subscribe.